Good morning. Do you sometimes get a doubt about your self beliefs, or do you have some disturbance or some confusion to understand what exactly is self esteem? Do you feel that sometimes your self confidence is low, or it's not really as much as you really think it is? So basically, let's discuss about self-esteem, and then let's deep dive into it little bit so that how what are the factor actually affect self-esteem. This is TidbitRama signing in. So basically, when you say esteem means the dictionary meaning, or when we say our esteemed colleagues or esteemed uh, wife or husband. Just taking an example, when you say it means somebody whom you respect and admire. That's what is all about esteem means. So when you say self-esteem means towards your how much respect you have and how much you admire yourself. So how would you know how much you admire yourself or how much you respect yourself? Only when you understand what is your worth. Only when you understand how worthy you are or how resourceful you are. It happens only when you understand yourselves better. So basically, to understand or to define the self-esteem, there are six pillars, or I would say, or rather six factors. You can take it either way, you can take it, but actually it stands on these six aspects rather. So the first thing would be your self-awareness. How much you are aware of yourself, whether about your core values or whether the abilities you have. I mean, how much you really think you're capable, or how capable you are really. It depends, right? You might think you are less capable, but actually you might be more capable on something, on some scale or some aspect, right? Whether it's your career or some social skill or cooking skill, whatever it may be, right? So you have to gauge that, or you have to understand it clearly. How aware are you about your capabilities and the core values? I mean, what are the things you actually value, whether it's integrity or adventurousness or creativity. You have your own core values, right? So we have a separate video for core values, so you understand what are your core values, what are your goals, or what are your beliefs basically. So it all depends on it. The self-awareness depends on it, or how self-reflect yourself, right? So how much you understand better, that is what is all about self-awareness. And then comes the self acceptance. That is the second pillar or the second aspect, that self acceptance. Now let's say nobody is perfect, right? Everybody has their strengths and weaknesses, everybody has their own flaws. So how much you accept yourself, how much you accept your negative point or flaws as much as you accept your positive aspects. So you might lie before somebody, or you might act better uh, before others, but you cannot do the same in with yourself, right? So you know what you are. So how much you accept yourself, because once you accept your flaws, or once you accept your weaknesses or your ignorance for that matter, if related to any subject or aspect, that's when you can actually focus on the solution, how you can get rid of your ignorance, or how you can work on your flaws, or how you can uh, work on your flaws so that they can actually turn out to be your strengths, or how to make your weaknesses as your strengths, right? Let's say you are strong in something, if at all you work more on it, you can be stronger, you can be better than before, if at all you really aware what are your strengths. So we need to accept ourselves in whatever we are. We don't have to feel low about it, right? And then comes the self realizations, once, or self responsibility, the realization of self responsibility. So how much you accept your responsibilities as a human being. It can be your responsibility as an employee, or a spouse, or a parent, or maybe a sibling, or as a student for that matter, or for that matter as a responsible citizen of our country. So how much you realize the importance of your responsibility, and to how far extent, how authentically you fulfill them as far as you can, as best as you can. So understanding the self responsibility, the level of self responsibility you have, even that is important. Thereby you can work upon, you can once, unless you become increase your self responsibility, you cannot grow as a person, you cannot progress as a human being. That is very much important. The self responsibility can be understanding the importance of working to the extent of your full potential, or maybe towards your family members, your responsibilities towards your family members, or maybe towards the organization you are working for, or if at all you are a student, how much you understand that, how responsible you are for your studies, to understand the subject or to get good grades, whatever may be the case. So once you understand the self responsibility, then comes the self assertiveness. How much you communicate about yourself, how much you can communicate well about yourself, whether about it's your weaknesses or strengths, or the way you handle things, right? So how clearly you can talk about yourself. That's what is all about, the self assertiveness. Again, when you talk about self assertiveness, when you talk about the communication, one has to be authentic. We should be truthful about ourselves. We should be transparent when when we are communicating about ourselves, whether accepting our ignorances, or elevating ourselves, or recommending ourselves about our strengths or about our capabilities while doing a task, or while, let's say, if at all you want to ask a hike from your boss. So obviously you have to be self-assertive. You should be able to recommend yourself. You should be explain it very clearly to your boss, how wonderful was your contribution for the growth of the company, or maybe for the timely fulfillment of the project, right? Or how, what a wonderful team player you are, how you have facilitated the team so that the expected goals of a specific project has been assigned within the timelines. It all depends. Or maybe if at all you are a team leader, how well you have managed the team so that they are able to work towards a focused goal. You should be able to assert yourself, you should be able to communicate yourself about yourself well, right? That's where the self assertiveness comes. So once you understand what is the level of your self assertiveness, then comes the purposefulness of life. It's nothing but your realization about your goal, about your objectives in life, about your mission, about your vision. We have talked about it, right, in one of the videos, that it's all about how well you understand the purpose of your goal, whether it's in the personal level, or the professional level, or at the social level, or at the spiritual level, or as a human being, how much you understand, how authentic your understanding it, and how open you are to contribute. Even if you are a very responsible employee and you are working towards a very prestigious project and you have contributed well, so even it's a serving the society, right? Okay, so let's say you are serving your aged parents, or you are taking care of your younger siblings. Even that's serving the society, right? Because you are making a better place to live for others, not necessarily social. I mean, like doing social service or serving the orphans. I'm not saying that is wrong, but when you talk about selflessness, family comes first, or the for the organization which you're working, that comes first, right? Unless you are responsible, unless you serve, unless you understand the purpose and serve your organization, your family well, how come you expect yourself or anybody for that matter, that they will do a good job towards the society or towards the country, right? First we need to understand our immediate responsibility. That's when comes the extra responsibilities. Yeah, we can do it parallelly, we can manage it parallelly, but I'm just giving it as a metaphor, right? When you say purpose of life, don't feel heavy, or don't feel that some rocket science, or some, don't feel that it's very highly ethical or highly humanitarian thing to understand. No, it's a simple thing. if you really understand it. Even understanding your real potential, or trying to serve others and adding value through your profession, or through you, or giving doing help somebody on a daily basis, even that's actually understanding the purpose of life, or that's also adding value to the lives of the people as a human being. Maybe you might have some short-term goals or long-term goals towards our society, our country. That's wonderful, that's awesome. Okay, that's about the purpose of life. And then all these things put together, let's say all these five factors have one, let's say they all add value, but there is one factor, and that's the main factor, that is self integrity. You might be well aware of your aspect, strengths and weaknesses. You might be ready to accept your flaws, and you might be ready to work against your negative aspects. You might be very assertive individual. You might a kind of person who understand your the feel the sense of responsibility. But if at all you're not a person of integrity, integrity actually puts or will help you to be committed, or to stick to the ideals, or to the goals, to the objectives, to your core values for that matter. It will help you to stick to them, and that's what actually keeps you motivated. That's the main part, right? Even though that's mentioned at the last, but that's the main part. If you at all you speak about all these pillars or these five aspects as important, but this is the most important one. This is like a backbone. The integrity, the self integrity is the backbone. So integrity plays a vital role. So all these aspects together will make you to understand what the kind of self-esteem you have, or what kind of self-image you carry about yourself, right? So I hope this helps. So basically, in short, I would say self-esteem is an aspect which actually make you as a understand what is your worth as a human being, and it will help you to understand your goals, your objectives, your core values, and what are the aspects you have to work on. And it will also help you to understand, to have a good understanding about your assertiveness, self-assertiveness, and even it will even make you understand the importance of a sense of responsibility, and that will keep you motivated, and keep committed towards the goals you want to achieve, so that you can have a satisfactory and a fulfilled, rather, and of course prosperous life, right, at whatever stage of your life may be, in every format. I hope it helps. Thank you so much. All the best.